Hello everyone, it is Susan here and welcome to my channel, Susan Hiles Art. So we're going to continue working on the 3.5 by 3.5 inch squares, and we need to tear up some more squares because I used all of them that we tore up before. So I'm just going to move these. And we can start with that. And I also wanted to talk with you, about a way to, about books. I'll just put it that way. I'll explain it when I get to that. But for now, let's think about what we want to use from here that we can get 3.5 inch squares. So this we could definitely use for sure. This I could get a square out of. So I don't need like a lot for right now, but I want to see the different fabrics because this is just filled with all different kinds of fabrics. Is this a page from my first Roxy journal? It might be one that I didn't use, obviously. Oh, I love this. I don't know why that's in there. I'm taking that out because I can use that. These are all too small. Too small, too small, too small. Then we have this, which I could use, but I don't think I want to. Here's another, what was probably a page for my Roxy journal. And I love this fabric. In fact, it's really the same, basically the same fabric that we've been using because it's a linen napkin. Let me just see something. Let me see. So if I did 3.5 by 3.5, so 3.5 real quick, 3.5. Oh, we're talking almost. You know, I'm going to try to use this. And I think that, let's kind of do that. I'm going to pull out the other one as well. And let's kind of see what we can do here. I wonder if I can get 3 out of this. Well, let me go ahead and iron this before I cut it. Now I think the best thing for me to do with this is to tear it long ways first, so I only have to do that once, and then I can tear it this way. I think that makes the most sense. So let's see. Let me turn this off. Okay, let's see. So like always, when you work on something like this, it's just so flexible and pliable, and it can be hard to measure the correct way, only because it moves so much. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut that, and let's just tear. So hopefully that's 3.5 inches. I have no idea. And then I have this beautiful piece to use on something, and I'll put that in my scrap bin. All right, so let's see how I did with the tearing. Yeah, it's a little shy. Right here, you can see there's like a cut in it. That's all right. It's a little shy of 3.5. Up top here, it's not. Well, I guess it is. Well, no, it's not. So I'll say that tearing wasn't super successful, but we're gonna go ahead and use it anyway. All right, so let's see. So if I do 3.5 here, let's tear that. And then let's see if I can get 2 more pieces out of this. So if I do that there, yeah, you know what? I think it's going to be good enough. I think it's going to kind of be perfect, actually, which is weird that that worked out so well. All right, that's kind of good, right? This might even be a little bit too big. It is slightly big. Slightly big. Should I leave it? It's like a 1/4 of an inch big. Because if I go to tear it, I have a feeling like I'm not going to be able to actually tear it. And then I'm going to have to cut it, and I don't want a straight edge. But I guess I'll do it anyway. Let's see. Let's see if I can tear this. Yeah, see, it's not going to tear. It just absolutely tore right off. So I'm just going to kind of do this. And then we'll see if we can fray it a little bit. Man, if you are the kind of person, sewist, creator, that is into perfection, you're probably rolling your eyes right now, like, how imperfect can this possibly be? And you know what? It's perfect enough. Okay, so that's 3. So while I'm doing it, I think I'll do this one too. And while I'm doing this one, let me kind of tell you what I wanted to about, you know, let me just measure this real quick, because this could be a really easy one. This one's a little shy as well. All right, I'm going to put that back. So I just wanted to mention about how it is I go about reading the fiction books that I like to read, like Debbie, excuse me, like Debbie Maycomber, and how I know what the whole series of books includes and how I get to read them all for free. So I wanted to explain that to all of you because, yeah, I don't want people to not read because they can't buy a book, or, you know, or let me try to make this a little bit bigger here. I guess, yeah, that you can't buy a book, because let me tell you, I can read a book in one day. I just did. I just read an entire book yesterday from beginning to end. And I mean, I don't even know what books go for anymore. What do they go for? I don't know. I guess it depends on the book, but I'd say at least $20, maybe $30 each. I don't know. I honestly don't know because I don't buy books. But I'm sure it's not the $7.95 that it used to be back in the day, right? So what I do when you have an author that you like, and what you can do is go online and search for, let me show you. I've actually brought one in here with me. What you do is you search for, so this is Debbie Maycomber. And so I search for Debbie Maycomber books in order. And it actually comes up with, and I've done this for multiple authors. And so it actually comes up with the order by series. So this is the Rose Harbor books. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So, and it tells you the year. And so, like my library, so I don't necessarily read them in order. I try the best I can, but I don't think I've ever read a series in total order. Maybe once. But like, I think I started this series with this second book. And then what happens is, well, even like this series here, this is all Debbie May Comber, her Blossom Street books. So all of these here, I've read this whole series, I've read this whole series, but what I do is I'll get, like this one, I know I started this series with a good yarn. In fact, that was probably the book that got me back into reading. I want to say about a year ago. That's probably the book that got me into enjoying reading again. But not until now am I trying to get through the series of the Debbie May Comber books. So even though, like my library doesn't have them all, I mean, no library, well, I don't think is going to have all of them, right? So what they can do is here, at least in New Jersey, so within the county, you can, if another library in your county has the book that you want, they will send it to your home library. So I always go to pretty much the same lady in my library, and I give her my list of what I want. I just give her the paper. I just give it to her so she can read it, because she knows me by now, because I've done this so many times with her. And I say, well, this is the one I need next, or that's the one I need next, because what I'll try to do first is read what they actually have in my library, and then I fill it in. And again, even though it's a series and it literally goes in order, it really doesn't matter if you read them in order or not. In fact, sometimes it's fun not to read them in order, because say I read this book and then I went back to this book, you know, when I read this book, I know some of the story already, so it's kind of cool. But so for example, A Turn in the Road. So this one happens to be from our county library, which happens to be, I don't know, a mile from my Whippany library, which is the library that I get books from. But the point being that I didn't have to go to the Morris County Library to get this book, because they had it sent to my home library. And this one came from the Pequannock Township Public Library here in New Jersey, so in my county. So now I get to read this whole series, and again, my library does not, did not have a lot of these books, but that doesn't mean you can't read the whole series. Just ask if they can put on hold for you that book, and they'll look on the computer and they'll put it on hold, and then it just comes into the library. They email me when it comes in to my home library down the street, and I go and I pick it up and I read it, and then I take it back. And so that's how I do it. So otherwise I would never be able to afford reading. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it, because that doesn't make any sense. Why would I spend all that money for a day, of reading, So this way I have it totally free, and I'm able to read entire series of books. And it's just, I don't know, I just wanted to mention that, because I think it's a really, really, really cool way to read. And then the second thing, and then we'll get back into the next block that I'm working on, but I just have to mention this. If you guys are looking for a good series to read that's not a lot of books, the Rose Harbor books by Debbie May Comber, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All I can say is, oh my gosh. So this is the last one in that series. And it was so good. It was so good. Like the next day after I finished this, I'm like, I had to go back and read the end of it again. It was amazing. So in this case, I would definitely wait to read Sweet Tomorrows, even Silver Linings. Make those, if you can, your last two, because with Sweet Tomorrows being the very last, oh my gosh, what a good series. This book itself has to be one of my top 3 books. And I've read a lot of books in the past year. So, like, I'm not a reader. So, you know, if there's anybody new to my channel, I have explained that before, that, you know, I just started reading basically a year ago, where I would go to the library and get books because I retired. And so, I don't know. So, and this is a cedar. It's from, well, it's the Rose Harbor series. And oh my gosh, it was really good. So I can just highly recommend that. So go online and get your favorite author, or you can, you know, do Debbie Maycomber, and Debbie Maycomber, Books in Order, or whoever the author is, Books in Order, and you'll get that, what I just showed you, and print it out, and then you can mark which ones you read and which ones you haven't. So yeah, so I just wanted to say that. That's all, maybe to help somebody. Yeah. So I have now 5 blocks, so I'm just gonna take this one. So that's good. So now I have a little stash for us to use. So I have a couple ideas in mind, and they're similar, but they're not quite the same. And I'm not sure which one I want to do first. So I guess maybe I'll do the one with the lace first. So my thought is this: I want to do a couple of blocks that have diagonal design, right? So, like, for one, I don't really have this prepared, but just for an example, so let's just say I was going to do the diagonal design on this one. So that would be there. I would probably make that, you know, cut that in half. And then, I don't know, I'm looking in my little bin over here, and then, like, the one next to it would be like this, right? And I would go all the way to the end and sew it down, and then I could put a flower on top. So that is something I want to do, and I will do. And then the other thing is, what I was thinking is to put a solid piece of fabric on this to have some color. Not sure what color. I'm not quite sure what to do. But then to take laces, because I have a lot of lace, right? And I want to use some of it. And kind of organize it in that diagonal design. I guess I would overlay them one to another. I don't know. I would have to see. But I have a bunch of lace, like I said, and I would like to use some. And then I would put a flower on top. So let's see. I don't know that I have a piece in here. I don't want it too wild, yet I want it to be a color that all of the laces will look okay with. And it has to be big enough. That's not big enough. That would be nice. It's not solid. I don't have a lot of solid. Wow, that is solid. Woo, that is bright. I don't know. I'm just going to kind of look around. I said solid, but I don't know. I don't know that I have. I mean, I do have some solid. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just go into my fabric closet, which is behind me here in my room. How about black? We tried using this piece last week. How about black? Because you know, I do want to try to have black on every piece. Let's see. To have that as a background, that could work quite well. In fact, I like that. I like that. Now I'm thinking of black again. Here we go with the black. There's a little spot down here, not covered. Then there's something. This I think would be too neutral. So now I'm thinking I want color more than not color. So let's kind of just play with this for a second. So, and here's some of my laces. If I need more, I have a bin of pieces of lace and ribbon. Oh, look at this. Huh, here's a flower. Well, right, it could be a flower. I'll take that out. Didn't even know that was in here. All right. I have some, I don't know if this was tea dyed, some kind of dyed eyelet trim. Oh, look at this flower. That's kind of cool. I'm going to take that out. Oh my gosh, what else is in here? This is pretty. Oh, this is so hard. This is so hard. Yellow. Yellow's always good. But you know, I have thicker yellow. Well, I'll take this out. All right, so let's see. So if I went with the black, let me take this off. If I went with the black, and I'm gonna kind of just fold this like I usually do, just so we can get an idea before I go cutting this up. So let's just say that's the exact right size. It's close, right? So if I had that, and then for some reason I keep putting this one basically in the middle. And let's say this one was there. I mean, I don't really know. That I kind of like. I'm liking that ruffled effect. So this would go under here. I didn't plan to necessarily do it this way, but I'm kind of liking that. I need another piece. It's not quite on a diagonal enough, but that's okay. I don't think I would use the yellow. No, I don't think so. How about this? Because I would need a little piece to put down here in the corner. I like that. This I love because it has the sequins in the middle of it. It's so beautiful, so beautiful. But I don't know that it's the right piece for this. So I think I need like two more, or at least one more ruffly, lacy trim. And then this that I'm putting down here can also go up here. So I need like one more nice piece for right there. Let's see, let's go back to this bin. I don't think that's right. No. Let's see. Oh, I have this. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, ooh. I think this is gonna be perfect. So then if that went there, and that went there, I think that's kind of cool. So what would happen is I assume I would just sew each one down diagonally. And then we would need something to put on the top. Now this is kind of busy stuff going on here. You know what, before I commit to this, let's kind of do what we always do, and let's put these all around it and see if it's gonna go. Like so far I think it goes, right? It's not too bright, it's got the right colors. I think that kind of blends in, because these two are kind of pinkish. Even though this is like a mint green and I don't have mint green elsewhere on it, I like it because it makes this block pop. You can tell that there's black underneath, which is good because we wanted a little bit of black if possible on each block. I mean, I think that could work. What do you guys think? I mean, I know it's pretty darn gaudy, right? But, you know, hey. Look at that. What do you think? We could go with that. I don't like that with the holes in it. Not for this piece. This is a huge flower. We could go with that, but it's going to cover up. Well, we could try, but it's going to cover up a lot of the lace. That probably won't work. I think that would look pretty. So this is another flower that I made. So I made this one, which we used, and I made that one many years ago. So that would be pretty. But I do like this, I must say. This is actually like one of those rosette kind of flowers, but a big one. Again, it's a color that's not used, but I mean, look at it. I mean, each one of them has its own specific, like a color, right? Yellow, pink, purplish color, pink, neutral, and this would be more of like a peachy color. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. All right, so let's go ahead and let's start cutting and maybe pinning these pieces of lace down. And I don't think I'm going to go too long today on this video. Yeah, I'm feeling not under the weather. I guess I am feeling under the weather. Why did I just move all? I think I remember the way they went. I just like moved that wall. Like I don't need to remember the order that they were in. Oh my goodness, let me tell you. All right, doesn't matter. I do like this really almost solid black up here. So let me cut this off. Of course, I'm going to keep the tag because tags are fun. And do I want to tear this? When you tear a silk scarf like this, oh, it's just yumminess. So I think I'll go ahead and tear it. Let's see if this, see, it's not going to tear the way I want it to. Well, now I have to tear this off. All right, well, I just messed that up. Well, let me see. Let me kind of do this again. But with a bigger piece. Yeah, it's not cooperating after I just said it tears so beautifully. And why is this not tearing for me? I don't know. I don't know. Well, you know what I'm going to do? Let me try one more time this way. Let me just try. I don't think it's going to work, but I don't know why. Oh, see, there we go. Okay. All right. So that tore. See, now look how beautiful. Oh, my gosh. It's amazing. Okay. So if I have that, now I wish I didn't mess this up here. Well, I mean, I could still use this. See, I'm going for the frayed edges. You guys know that, right? So I love all this fraying up here. And it's not straight. I can definitely see that. Well, let me see if I can even tear the rest of it that I need to. Let's try. Because I think this is proving to be a difficult piece of silk to use. All right. Speaking of silk, I'm afraid this isn't going to tear. Oh, yeah. I have a lot of sari fabric. I don't know, maybe 5 different sari dresses that I have yet to fully dive into. It'd be kind of cool to do something with them one day. Oh, look at this. I mean, this is yumminess in its true form. Look at this. It's so shabby. So, I kind of like that. Oh my gosh. All right. So I should have maybe tore it a little bit bigger. I don't know. I think it'll work though. I think it'll work. So let's see. So I had, so that was basically there. That was basically there. This was under this. This. Oh, I don't even know if I would need this now because I'm liking all that fraying down there. Then this. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I don't need as much as I thought. And then that would go up there. Okay, okay. All right, this is gonna work. I'm gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work. I can do this. Okay, so now I'm gonna I'm trying to decide if I should pin it and then cut it or cut it and then pin it. I think I'll pin it. I think I need to go up a little bit. I think what I'm trying to do is to get this edge does it matter which way? I don't think it does. Onto the edge of the block, I'm thinking might make the most sense. I'm thinking. All right. Well, I'm going to pin this. It's not all the way at the end. So let's just kind of pin that. We'll go ahead and pin this because that's going to go over. And again, I'm going to try to get it towards the end of the block, or at least the black part of the block, making sure I'm going on a diagonal. And making sure I'm keeping this black piece in the right spot there. And then like that. That might be too low. Let me move that up a little bit. I think it's covering the pink up a little too much. So something like that. And then this one. Sometimes it's so hard to tell if there's a right side up or not. Okay, so we have that one. And of course, when I actually go to sew these, I think they're going to move a little bit, which is fine. So we have that. And then the last one here. So if I pin that one there, maybe on the top I need another piece. And so up here, and this one I'm just going to cut just a little bit because I have a lot of stuff going on here. And this can go there. And then we're going to look at it. Now, let me make sure. Yeah, I think the black kind of moved a little bit. We're going to roll with it, everybody. We're going to kind of just roll with it. So then if that goes there, okay. Okay, all right, so now let's cut. So how am I gonna cut this? All right, so if I go ahead, I hope I'm cutting this right. Now I think I have to cut a little bit off this end. Oh yeah. Let me cut some of this. Try to keep it, I guess, having some sort of a square look, which I don't think that's going to be super possible. But, oh yeah, this is not easy, everybody. Now that I'm cutting all of this, I think I'm going to have to kind of live with that it might look a little funky. This is actually torn. Let me cut that off. Okay, all right. Well, we're going to see if we like it. And if we don't, you know what? That's okay. We tried. I got this idea in my head. I don't know if it was at night one night. Yeah, like it laying in bed, you know. Oh my gosh. I thought it would be fun. I'm going to have to cut that other one more. You know what? I would like to see some of that black fringe under this. Or that fraying, I should say. And then let's cut this. All right, let me get rid of all these little pieces, all this thread. All right, well, what do we think? I mean, I think it's gonna be okay. I think once it's sewn, I mean, I think I like the ruffles, I like the colors. I think what I don't like is like the choppiness of it on the edges. So if I put that there, where'd that flower go? And that there, see how it looks choppy? Now I could trim it all so it's not choppy, but I would probably do that after it's sewn because I know I'm going to move these pieces around. Now that might be better, right? So if I cut all these once they're sewn and I cut them all to the edge of the block, like so this would be cut here, so then it would look like this is a straight edge. I like that. I think that's what I need. Now the problem is, like this piece right here, I don't know if it's long enough, so I might have to do another one to make it a little longer, but I could. So I think that's what I'm going to do. That's going to be my goal. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for today. And yeah. And I will certainly be back next Monday for another Crafty Chit Chat and Slow Stitching video. And we'll continue to work on this. I'll see if I can get this sewn during the week. I don't know. And then we can put the flower on together. I'm still kind of playing around. Can you tell? No, that's not big enough. It would have to be something pretty substantial on top of all that. Well, you know what? We'll see. I'm going to get this stuff sewn down. If not this week, we'll do it next Monday. And then we'll figure out our plan from there. So I'm liking it, but I'm not loving it just yet. But I'm not going to go through all that sewing and then not use it. So, all right, well, thank you all so much for being here. And I pray that you all have a wonderfully blessed week. Oh, and I forgot to tell you about the study in Psalms. Oh, I'll have to remember to do that next Monday. Yeah, because we had our first class, and it was good. I enjoyed it. So I wanted to show you the book and all that, and I totally forgot. But anyways, okay, so have a blessed week, everybody. Okay, God bless. Bye-bye.